Hi, it's Wayne from howtofish.com.au, and I'm going to find out just how many fish you can catch with luminous hooks. Now, I've seen these things for a while now and I've been dying to try them. The only trouble is, you got to use them at night, right? Because they're luminous after all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fish the pier at night. I'm going to fish with a float. I'm going to go after garfish, Tommy Ruff. I'm going to go after anything. I just want to catch lots. I've got to catch lots. And I've got to use a luminous hook to do it, but I'm giving myself a little bit of an advantage here because not only have I got this little tiny luminous hook, but I've also got a little tiny luminous bead. I have the bead right next to the hook, so extra light. My theory, the more they can see, the more chances they are going to take of taking your bait. So this is what I'm going to put out there. These little luminous hooks, I just bought them online, right? It's a trial. You can see it's about a size 10 hook. It's got you can see it quite clearly, that light greenish outline. So it's really been just painted on. So I don't know how long it'll last either. And because it's a small hook, obviously I'm going for small fish. And the trouble is, when I'm going to fish, it'll be low tide. So I'm fishing on the pier, Dramana Pier, into a low tide, and the Dramana Pier is very, very shallow water anyway. I expect the water I'm fishing into is only going to be about probably chest height, maybe even less. Okay, shallow water. So I think that there will be only small fish about. That's why I've got to do it at night, to take advantage of this, and also to catch anything in really shallow water. Now what I'm going to be using is, this is an 8-gram float. Now this float has a little metal loop on it, just like that. That's what you thread the line through. That's what sort of holds it to the top of the float. And then I've put a little rubber line stop on there. And those line stoppers are great because they're quite stiff and hold in place, but you can actually pull them up the line. So you can change where you want to hold your slope, your float. And so I've done that just there. And then on this one, on the stem, there's a piece of rubber tubing. So I've just threaded the line through there, and then I put that onto the base of the float, the stem of the float, and that's what holds that in place. And then of course, then I've just got a bean sinker there, which is just enough weight to hold this so that the stem is just at water level. And that's what I want. I want to see that stem, and that's where I'll have the glowing isotope on that. Now to hold that float in place, I'll just use more of these, which are just these little rubber line stops. Okay, so these little line stops, they're on little sort of wire hitches or whatever. They have a loop at the top. All you do is you put your line through the loop. So once it's through the loop for that particular stopper, then all I have to do is I pull that stopper onto my line. It's on there. And then I can just move that down. Oops. And that will hold that sinker in place. Shallow water. So that's what I'm going to do. Now this setup is just simply, I've got a bean sinker on a stopper. Okay, the distance between that and the hook is probably about 60 centimeters. I'll start with that. I mean, I'll vary the depth of the hook depending on whether I get bites or not. I've got an 8-gram float. Okay, that's where the sinker is, just underneath it. I've got a line stop on that, so I can pull that line stop up and down to adjust where I have the weight. And then finally, this float, it's got quite a thick stem. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put an isotope on that. Those things that glow, it just so happens that this float has the perfect size stem here to fit an isotope holder. It's just a little plastic device that flicks over the top of that. So these are the isotope holders. You buy them in a little package, get them online, get them at tackle stores. All they are is, they're actually luminous as well. Everything's luminous. Everything's going to be glowing like, Vegas. Anyway, this thing here will fit onto the top of that float, which is good, which is the whole idea. So it'll fit on. It fits on like that. And then what I do is I put an isotope on it. These things, nothing you can buy at tackle stores or online, okay? And all they are, this little packet has 2 in them, I think. 2, yes, 2. Okay, they are a little tube with I think there's 2 chemicals in here. And what happens is there's a little container inside which is very brittle. All you do is you bend it, it breaks, the 2 chemicals react and make it glow. That will fit into this, I think. That's what it's supposed to do. Let's see, it should just click in like that, snap, and then I've got that. That will be floating on the top of this. Yeah, it looks a little bit rough. There's another way of doing it. I want to use it to see if I can use both of these things for extra glow, because I've got to tell you, there is nothing quite as exciting as seeing the float out there. So you've got really dark water, the thing's bobbing up and down, but it's staying, you know, above the water, and then for that to just sweep away underwater, seeing that light disappear into the black water, that is a hoot, and that's what I'm looking forward to. So what I'll do is, if this is too cumbersome, which it might be, I'll take that off. These things also come with little plastic tubes. I can put the tube on here and stick that on top. But whatever I do, I need to have that, because otherwise I won't be able to see anything. I am looking forward to this. Let's just see what happens. On my side, it's going to be dark. What's against me is the tide is going to be down. We'll see how it goes.
Got him.
Well, I had an absolute ball last night using the float, and I'll just show you what I ended up doing. The little isotope here, this is the next morning, and as you can see, it's still got some colour to it. It's still quite bright actually. It was fantastic. Watching that go under the water was just a hoot. But what happens is these things come with little plastic tubes. So that little plastic tube, that thing there, just fits onto the top of my, onto the stem of the float. And it was much needed than having that other contraption. So really simple, just use these things, put it on the stem of your float and watch it go under. It is fantastic fun. I highly recommend it. Anyway, look, if you, I know that this was, the lighting was not that great, but there was some great fun to be had. If you've enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you're interested in any of the gear, tactics, techniques, the burley cages, go to my website, howtofish.com.au. See you next time.